So yeah. All right. We'll go into like the crowdfunding example. Yeah, we're just going to skim over this because what we'll do, because obviously we have a community, like a proper formal community. The depth for this is a really good example. We'll go through for people in the community and they can kind of reach out and get a workshop together, get Oscar and myself or anyone else working on this. But and obviously because there's so much you can do, so there must be a lot going through. But we'll just skim through this. There are a lot of cool examples for crowdfunding. I think also maybe first I should define crowdfunding. It's where basically you, instead of say I'm Scott McEwen, good example, launched espresso displays, did a crowdfunding campaign using Kickstarter where people who wanted a display, they, paid a down deposit. And that was the funds he used to actually go build, him and his co-founder Will, to actually go build the product. So if it was like $300 or something, it was cheaper than a full display. They got a discount, but they took 1,000 people's $300, used that money to build the first line of inventory and actually launch their idea and validate it. So crowdfunding is very common in charity. Just think of GoFundMe or anything like that. I'm building a school. Can everyone chip in $50? Then they funded it instead of having to go to one person to give them 20 grand or 30. So that's crowdfunding. So this is an exciting thing with NFTs and crowdfunding. Very exciting. So we'll run through a couple of examples. So the first is the Generalist, and I think they're a publication. So I actually don't know that much about them, but they partnered with Jack Butcher, who's a very well-known internet figure. And they turned like they were doing this brief about Coinbase, which is a platform for, what is it, Oscar? Trading and...
Yeah, it's a cryptocurrency exchange.
Yeah, that's the one. And they crowdfunded the project for it to happen. So anyone could own a piece of their analysis and the artwork that Jack Butcher made to correspond with it. And so the crowdfunders, people who got behind this project, they got a proportional stake, right? In like the brief they put together and the artwork. And then there was a 43% return given to the crowdfunders within weeks. So they obviously used it to fund it. There was proceeds for the project because they got to develop it, whatever they sold it or whatever it was, distributed it. And then people were actually able to get a return in weeks. So I don't know, Oscar, if we were going to do I'm trying to think of an example how we could apply this, but if we were going to do I don't know, maybe a big article on something and make it paid and have an artwork to go with it, it's basically like we could crowdfund the research, use this to also build hype because it brings a lot of people really interested in it. I don't know, release it and sell it, whatever it is. And then we get the profits of selling it and we can redistribute to everyone who crowdfunded their share.
Yeah, it's great for sort of has brand benefits and also that incentive alignment again between contributors. Yeah.
One thing, Liam, I don't think anyone's done yet that I've seen, and I think what I'm going to do is use crowdfunding like this for my next book.
Oh, that was literally my next question. I was like,
that's why I read minds.
Yeah. I was like, an article, I could see that, but for like a whole book, if someone like invested in a book, that's cool,
Well, think about if you got to buy a NFT in like the 4-hour work week or Atomic Habits or something like that, right? You're like, oh, this could 18 and loss. Like, oh, if this is going to become more and more valuable over time, I could sell this in 10 years for like millions and millions of dollars, which a 4-hour work week NFT now would sell for probably tens of millions of dollars.
Oh, your Harry Potter thing. Imagine J.K. Rowling, like at the start, man.
Imagine a Harry Potter NFT. That'd be worth billions.
Yeah. Like, I think the title of the thumbnail for this should be like, how J.K. Rowling could have made billions instead of millions.
I think she did make billions.
She made billions. I think she was the richest woman in the world. I think.
Yeah. Okay. Well, she was at one point.
Yeah.
This is the second example. I've got four examples from this crowdfunding. Stoner Cats. It's pretty funny. So instead of going on Netflix or I don't know, even YouTube to watch this, what these guys did, and they some big names, Mila Kunis from That 70s Show and a whole bunch of movies, people from Toy Story 2, Happy Feet. They got together They crowdfunded this show, this animated show they made called Stoner Cats, and then you've got to buy an NFT to watch it.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah. So obviously they originally funded it with NFTs, and then you also got to buy an NFT to actually watch it.
Is it an NFT or a token that you have to buy to watch it?
Purchase one of our collectible NFTs to watch the new series.
Oh yeah, no, you're right.
So that's why I figured.
But that's so cool. Just go back. Sorry, just.
It's the same thing.
Oh no, but I'm just saying how they've also linked the Discord to watching the thing. Like I haven't seen that with TV shows or movies. Just like people geek out naturally, but like if the actual movie, when it's released, has a community and an NFT, like it could be so cool because then people go in straight afterwards, because people are naturally just posting on YouTube and elsewhere around their reviews around movies. But if there's like a specific hub, yeah.
And then this is basically same website, but it's just like the buy now. So it's basically what it looks like. So there's the price of going in, it's sold out. So you can build real scarcity. So what a great way to monetize people want to make it. So if we want to do a documentary, guys, about Constant Student, you know, instead of going through producers and all this sort of stuff, it's like, all right, if we have a concept people will watch, they'll back it. If we have this exciting journey where they can have a token. And again, if tokens have resale value, it's like they're investing in it. They're not even just being generous. They're not just paying in advance. So much of crowdfunding is just paying in advance and backing a story. Instead of just paying in advance, it can be an investment.
Joe, would you NFT the video that you created on Figma?
Oh, we haven't told people about that. That's building some suspense. I probably would. I probably would. Look at Liam. He's going, look at that. He's going crazy with ideas now. The cogs are turning. Liam, but wait, game show line. There's more. So this is a third example of crowdfunding, the Electra crowdfund. It's all written there. I'll just read it. There's so 42 musicians, artists, developers, and strategists. What a job. Together building Electra, interactive, choose your own adventure, Web3 game with music at its core. I don't know specifics of how the game works. I didn't find it incredibly relevant, so forgive me. To play the game though, I'm sure it's fun, you need to secure a portal ticket NFT in the crowdfund below. It's obviously over now, but this was what they did. The funds raised through this crowdfund will go entirely towards bringing this project to life. As this project evolves, the lines between creator and audience will blur. Game builders will play the game they are building, and game players will build the game they are playing.
Whoa, just say that again.
Game builders will play the game they are building, and game players will build the game they are playing. So it's almost like you reduce. So I'm trying to think of a practical example of this, but this is obviously completely hypothetical. So say I crowdfund my next book, right? Exponential Careers or something like that. And I create this, maybe they can access, I don't know if I could do this, but a portal where they can see me working on it. Maybe like a Google Doc where you can only comment. I don't know. But not edit, just suggestions. Or I can release bit by bit and that community can almost shape the book, right? Like this is what I'm thinking for this part, you know, and I'm doing a Q&A at the end of the month on this. So it's almost like reducing.
Build in public the whole time.
Yeah, it could be a dynamic version of that. This is my interpretation and potentially personal application of this idea of reducing the line between creator and audience. Not that you want consensus, it's just a thought experiment. Like technically something like that would be possible. That's not really the best, maybe not the best creative process, but also if it brings people into the experience, it creates this hype. So I just think that's really, so Taryn, right, Liam, you know, as a musician, you know, what could she do, right? With people who back a big video she makes, like her documentary or her next album or something like that.
Yeah.
And she can, you know, whatever, have that access to whatever feedback and interface for people who have supported through the NFT. It's mind-boggling. This, yeah, but wait, there's more. This is another one. So this is also like the example of like a niche platform, right? So Obscura is for photographers. This is beautiful, right? They go, many photographic stories are left untold for lack of funding. This platform is an opportunity to facilitate photographers to pursue their projects through the sales of NFTs. Right? So they give people commissions to produce their projects they want to do. There's a community for them. There's grant opportunities, and there's educational resources for the photographers. So it's almost like a niche version of Constant Student using NFTs, because it's kind of like they've got the whole ecosystem.
Yeah.
They submit a dream project and have tiers of commissions awarded monthly. This is basically how it works. Photographers submit their dream project. We operate in the seasons, which span a total of 4 months. We have a 4-tier system of commissions that are awarded monthly. The curation team selects a series of photographers, into Obscura on a rolling basis. We offer mint passes for 4 tiers of commissions we are backing. So they choose the projects to back.
Yeah. Far out.
So Archie, Archie, photographer, right? How does a photographer, I don't know, the typical photographer career journey, I imagine it's not too different from a filmmaker, where it's a lot of like doing stuff, I don't know, volunteering for curators and whatever.
Yeah, you will have to, like, getting started now, I would assume you almost have to work for digital marketing, because like marketing is where the money's at with photography essentially. So there'll be less of that creative expression for a lot of them at the start.